All roads lead to Zurich, Switzerland. The 2025 Diamond League Final is officially here. Every single season, this is one of the biggest competitions that you can compete in. There's prize money up for grabs, there's the glory of winning the coveted Diamond Trophy, there's bragging rights, and there's also the possibility of qualifying for the World Championships in 2025, as this gives you a wild card berth into the biggest stage of the year. There are many storylines set to collide in this year's Diamond League Final. However, Noah Lyles just put forth a pretty unique goal that might actually be attainable for the 200 meters. If we go all the way back to July 7th of 2009, we can see a young Usain Bolt hitting the track in Lausanne, Switzerland. This was a mid-season 200-meter dash, and it wasn't set to be that impressive. However, as Usain Bolt very often did, he made history on this day. Now, for this 200, this was actually before Bolt destroyed the world records in the 100 and the 200 meters in Berlin, Germany. However, he had already achieved 3 separate individual world records in 2008, as he ran a 9.72 in the 100 in New York, he ran his 9.69 in the Beijing Olympics, and then he ran his 19.30 in the 200 to break that world record as well. To put it simply, Bolt had reached a new level of greatness never before seen in track and field. But what he achieved in this specific competition is something that I wasn't even aware of until today. With his classic explosive start that left everyone else in his dust over the opening 100, Bolt already had this race in the bag over the first half. And even though he sort of shut it down over the final 10 or 20 meters, he still ran a 19.59 second performance. At the time, this was only one of 6 individual races in history that saw a sub 19.6 time, as the other athletes included Tyson Gay and also Michael Johnson from 1996. Clearly, this is one of those very rare barriers that athletes had to run a nearly perfect race in order to achieve. But this was not one of those moments, because even though this was a historically quick time, Bolt managed to break 19.6 both in the rain and also into a slight headwind. This was clearly proof that Bolt was in some crazy fitness going into the World Champs. And again, he did go on to break the world records in the 1 and the 2 in Berlin, Germany, cementing himself as an unstoppable legend in the sprints. What Bolt achieved here was a very special kind of sprinting history, and to this day, nobody has ever challenged a 19.59 second clocking in the 200 meters in the rain. But that is exactly what Noah Lyles wants to do. Moving into this year's Diamond League Final, Noah is set to race in the 200 meters in Zurich, and this is a very special location for Noah. He's won this race before, he's cemented his name as the greatest in the Diamond League circuit 4 individual times in the 200-meter dash. But this year, it is set to rain, as the forecast currently shows rain throughout the entire day. And even though that is something that will slow you down, Noah is on record stating he wants to run faster than anyone else in history in the rain, which would include Usain Bolt's 19.59. Here's a question for all of you track and field nerds out there. Who has run under 19.6 more? Is it Noah Lyles or is it Usain Bolt? Think about it for a few seconds. Well, incredibly, it's actually tied, as they both have run under 19.6 a total of 9 times. If Lyles does want to run faster than Usain Bolt in the rain in the 200, he will have to break 19.6 again, which is certainly a possibility, as he has done this 9 times in his life, but he's never done that in the rain. Clearly, getting under 19.6 in wet conditions is a step up from what he has done this season. He's only run 2 individual 200s in 2025 so far, but they were both pretty solid, as he ran a 1988 in Monaco, and he also ran a 1963 in the United States National Champs. And going back to that Monaco Diamond League meeting, he actually took down Letsili Teboho, who was last year's Olympic champion, and Teboho is currently set to race in this year's Diamond League Final against Noah Lyles. Here's the current lineup of the men's 200 in this year's Diamond League Final. And we have some serious star power here, but I think all eyes are going to be on lane 6 and 7, as Noah will be running in lane 6 with Teboho right in his sights on the outside lane. Given Noah's pretty remarkable progression so far in 2025, I think it's actually possible that he could get under 19.6 in the rain, But he will need to get a very solid start, and he will need to close like a train, which is something that Noah is likely to do. And speaking of that 19.6 in the wet conditions, Teboho actually was in the press conference when Noah stated this goal, and Teboho actually told Noah that he can help him achieve that time. Whenever Noah and Teboho race together, there is always some very impressive clockings. Noah was actually there when Teboho first broke the African record in the 200 back in the 2023 London Diamond League meeting. And that was a very special race as both athletes actually went under 9.3 for the second half. Noah was also there when Teboho broke his own African record again in last year's Olympic final. And if we look at their full history in the 200 meters, Noah does have an advantage. But with both athletes reaching fitness moving into 2025's World Champs, I think the win could go either way. Teboho has been a little bit injured throughout much of the season, and Noah also was injured earlier in 2025. But given that they are both running in this year's Diamond League final, and given that they both clearly see 19.59 as an achievable time, I think we might be set to see something incredible. Now, it's impossible to tell exactly what level of rain we're set to see. Perhaps it's only going to be drizzling a little bit, which would clearly be preferable, because if we are set to see rain like in Lausanne, that is just going to be miserable. I am very excited to see how this men's 200 is set to unfold, and if Noah does in fact go under 19.6 in the rain, he will not only have the fastest 200 time in wet conditions in history, but he will also officially have more sub-19.6 clockings than the legend Usain Bolt. And now I'd love to hear from all of you. What do you expect from this men's 200? Do you think they're going to get under 19.6 in the rain? And who do you think is going to come out on top? Do you have Lyles or Teboho or someone else? Thanks for watching, everyone. And as always, until next time. Honestly, the rain is going to be key here. If the rain is strong, I don't think they're going under 19.6. But if the rain is not too bad, I don't know. I think Noah could get under 19.6. He ran that 19.63 against Kenny with not that much racing experience this year. Anyways, I'm whispering a lot at the end of this video, but you get the idea. I think it is achievable. Leave your thoughts down below. Appreciate you.